Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the processional and remain standing for the presentation of the colors and the playing of the Japanese and the United States national anthems.
Welcome, distinguished guests, Major General Wong, Colonel Mikowski, Captain Montagne, Dr. Knight, Command Sergeant Major Turner, Command Master Chief Roberts, faculty, parents, students, friends, and most importantly, members of the class of 2021. I would like to acknowledge those who helped bring your graduation vision to fruition, Ms. Ika Davis and Mr. Alexander Allah. You helped develop this year's graduation concept. Without your dedication, this year's ceremony may have looked very different. I also would like to thank our community partners and volunteers who helped make this event happen. Seniors, as you prepare to move on, you have the knowledge and skills to be successful in today's world. I will be sad to see you go, but we look forward to seeing you grow and change during the coming years. Please be seated. Some statistics about our graduating class. There are 57 members in the class of 2021, of which 5 have been here since their birth, and 21 of them were born overseas. As far as future plans are concerned, 10% will enter the military. 12% plan to attend a 2-year college. A whopping 68% plan to attend a 4-year college. And the last 10% plan to enter the workforce or go to a trade school. Scholarship information. This is an exceptional class. They have earned $2,142,171 in scholarships. They will attend colleges and universities all across the United States, Europe, and in Japan. Thanks to the local organizations that awarded scholarships to the Zama students, it does cost a pretty penny to send students to college. And with that, I'm sure their families are eternally grateful for your support. I would now like to introduce our senior class president, Meridian Ward.
Good evening. I am Meridian Duarte, the Senior Class President, and I'd like to welcome everyone to this year's graduation ceremony for Zama Middle High School's Class of 2021. Among our guests attending today's ceremony, both in person and watching via our live stream, I would like to welcome Dr. Ronald Knight, Pacific East's Community Superintendent, in particular for sharing this important moment with us today. As the Senior Class Student Council President, I had the privilege and first-hand experience of knowing what takes place behind the scenes, especially for events such as this year's graduation. It is well known that the coronavirus has made events like these anything but easy to plan, coordinate, and execute while following proper mitigation procedures to keep everyone involved as safe as possible. Despite these challenges, it took a team of dedicated individuals to organize our graduation. I would like to recognize our graduation team for their hard work, perseverance, and flexibility in this endeavor. I would first like to thank Colonel Mikowski and General Luong for working with Mr. Lefebvre to provide a graduation in which seniors can see and experience all of their peers graduating at the same time in one ceremony. You've heard us loud and clear when we expressed our want to have everyone together, and the seniors cannot thank you enough for making this happen. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Rogers, Mr. Noble, Mr. Kinji, Mr. Osamu, the Senior Supervisor Chef Moore, and Seniors Alexander Allah and Ika Davis for being the masterminds behind the ceremony. It is because of their work that we are here celebrating safely as a graduating class today, which can be seen by our friends and families all around the world. Finally, I would like to extend one last thank you to the Senior Board for working hard all year and going out of their way to make this year as enjoyable as possible for all seniors. Thank you. And now I would like to welcome to the stage Alexander Allah.
Good evening. My name is Alexander Alla. I'm the co-salutatorian of the class of 2021. We are all protagonists of our own life stories. Stories whose protagonists are simultaneously their own authors. Together, they form a mesh of unique stories written on the canvas of time, continually flowing forward and among one another in intersections and divergences. In such a way, I often imagine the course of my own transient life and the multitude of others it has intersected with, as such stories of profound significance. 2 years ago, I began a new chapter in the story of my own life, here in Zama, as an awkward yet self-assured junior that I still might just be. At first, I did not know what to expect from a base in school so seemingly small and so lean. Yet, I did not know then that what Zama lacked in appearance, it more than made up for in character. Before long, I found myself absorbed into a unique school filled with unforgettable students, teachers, and friends that made it the most enchanting chapter of my life, filled with golden memories. Never will I forget the days I spent here in Zama, nor the people that made it so memorable. From my first day at Zama Middle High School, which was unexpectedly also a picture day, much to my chagrin, to a soccer team that should have been, and a more recent soccer team that could have been, to the mornings that were much too early for many of us, to the lunches spent under the blue skies in mountains in the distance, and to the liberating class trip to a beach in Enoshima. Of course, none of our high school experiences have been perfect. Certainly not in these last 2 years of unexpected, if not unprecedented, turns of events that have left holes in many of our expectations. Even still, many of us, including myself, have made countless mistakes with unresolved regrets and experienced disappointments in these last 4 years. Yet, I cannot but help think that without them, our high school experience would not be whole. As much as it is natural for us to avoid adversity, adversity is a natural part of our lives. It is the sadness that makes our happiness so much more golden, our hopes that make despair so much more tolerable, and our failures that make success so much more exhilarating. It is these compliments that make our lives truly beautiful and unique. Ultimately, our unique experiences have given this class of 2021 a story worth telling, and this school a story worth remembering. A story of a group of students that, despite a pandemic, never lost their luster, never lost their character, and never lost their spirit. As salutatorian of that class, it has been an honor being a part of that story, and I can only express my deepest gratitude to all the students, teachers, and parents that made it possible. Personally, I must give special thanks to my parents for their trusting support and anxious tolerance for me for all these years. Thanks to Mr. Sparks for his 2 years of reliable instruction and guidance in mathematics. Ms. Rogers, for a challenging class I held a love-hate relationship with, and your indispensable help with my college essays. Ms. Hernandez, for sponsoring her final year of student council and 2 years of opportunities in speech and debate. And also thank you to Ms. Angarita and Mr. Gaetano for an enjoyable soccer team I was too injured to enjoy. Finally, I must thank all the parents, teachers, and administrators that made this graduation and other events possible, despite our strict circumstances. Unfortunately, today marks an end to the shared chapter of our lives, from which we must all now diverge. At the same time, it is the culmination of those 4 years from which we hold a commanding view of our chronicled pasts and our unwritten futures. The blank canvas of our futures lie ahead, ready for stories that have only truly just begun. Stories that will undoubtedly be filled with mosaics of happiness and sadness, love and loss, success and failure, and hope and despair. To imagine them along with my own fills me with curious anticipation and one single piece of advice. Write a story that you would be proud to tell. Thank you. Now, I would like to welcome to the stage my good friend and co-salutatorian, Tyler McElroy.
Please join me in welcoming to the stage this year's valedictorian, Rachel Perry.
Good afternoon, parents, faculty, guests, and graduating class of 2021. Before we start, I would like to thank everyone who made it possible for us to have an in-person graduation ceremony this year, including our senior class student council board. I would also like to thank the parents and teachers who have supported us on our academic journeys thus far and who will continue to do so as we enter this next chapter of our lives. We would not be who we are today without them. Now, this will be the part where I start discussing a personal anecdote from my childhood, maybe throw in a couple of jokes here and there, move on to talk about some embarrassing event that happened at Zama, say a few more thank yous, wipe away a tear or two, and end with some grand motivational speech. But I'm a man of few words, and quite frankly, I'm really, really bad at giving speeches. And I know many of you are ready to go home or celebrate, so I'll keep it short and sweet. To the class of 2021, despite us having to navigate through the uncertainties of remote learning, having to deal with senioritis on top of the stress from the pandemic, and having to transition into adulthood mostly on our own, we made it. In what I think can be considered one of the toughest academic years the world has seen, we persevered through it and went beyond everyone's expectations. I think it is important for us to highlight some of the things the graduating class accomplished this year, in spite of the pandemic. Despite the competitive nature of this year's college admissions, many graduates were accepted into colleges from all over the world, including those from America, Japan, the UK, and the Netherlands. One graduate was selected as the 2021 Asian Military Youth of the Year, and another was selected as a candidate for the U.S. Presidential Scholars Program, Alex Law. One graduate even got a full-ride ROTC Air Force scholarship for nursing. Many graduates were a part of the Zama Trojan track and field, who brought home not one, not two, but 3 banners this year. And the Zama Brain Bowl team, composed of 8 seniors, placed second out of the 7 total schools that competed in this year's annual Kanto Playing Brain Bowl. There were many more accomplishments from our class this year, such as the graduates who helped put on an amazing performance for Far East Drama, or the graduates who prepared a winning plate for Far East Culinary. But I think the accomplishment that we should all be the most proud of is making it this far, made evident by the fact that you all are sitting here right now. I could not have asked for a better group of students to graduate with. Truly, I mean that. The class of 2021 is full of some of the smartest, funniest, and most supportive people I've ever met. And all of us have the potential to do great things. Our path from here on out will look different, but I know that each and every one of you will be successful, regardless of what you do or what you don't do. I have to say it again. We made it. We pushed through the trials and challenges presented to us by the pandemic, by the past year, the past 4 years, the past 12 years. You get the point. No matter what life may throw at us in the future, all of us can and will persevere. But in the meantime, let us all have one final amazing day as seniors of Zama Middle High School. Thank you for the opportunity to speak at this year's graduation ceremony, and thank you for an amazing 3 years. I would now like to introduce the ZMHS Battalion Commander, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Kulani Tremel.
Good evening. I am Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Barry Huetema, Commander of the Zama Middle High School JROTC Trojan Battalion. It is my honor to introduce to you this evening the commencement speaker for the 2021 ZMHS graduation ceremony, the Commander of the United States Army Garrison Japan, Colonel Thomas Metelsky. Colonel Metelsky is no stranger to ZMHS nor Dodea schools. He and his family have been active supporters of the school programs and activities for their 2 years here in the Zama community. Everyone, please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Colonel Thomas Metelsky.
Minasan, konbanwa, and good evening. From Japan, and an early good morning to all of you who may be joining us for Zama Middle High School's commencement ceremony for the graduating class of 2021 from across the Pacific and back home in the United States. We are honored by your presence and also your willingness to get up early and honor our graduating class. Today it is an important occasion for our graduates. Major General and Mrs. Luong, Dr. Knight, Captain Montenay, Command Master Chief Roberts, Command Sergeant Major Turner, Mr. Lefebvre, soldiers, sailors, family members, and members of the NAF at Tsugi and Camp Zama and Sagamihara family housing area communities. I'm absolutely honored to be here before you as the speaker for this tremendous occasion. As a proud father of a 2020 Zama Middle High School graduate and 2 sons who have recently completed another year of school here, I am humbled by this opportunity to speak to you this evening. I will attempt to keep my remarks short for 2 reasons. Number 1, no one ever remembers what the graduation speaker says, ever. Number 2, I'm the last thing standing between you and celebrating your achievements with your families and friends. We are truly excited to have Zama Middle High School graduation live this year. Mr. Lefebvre and the entire Zama Middle High School staff have done a superb job ensuring the health and safety of our students during the 2nd school year that has been disrupted by COVID-19. Although we are not out of the woods yet, I am proud to say that our schools have been COVID-free, while the military community in Japan has turned out to volunteer for vaccination. With our recent efforts for vaccinating your fellow students, we are glad to increase new opportunities and privileges for our population in Japan. I sincerely appreciate the leadership team at NAF Atsugi, led by my good friend, Captain Manning Montenay, for the continued partnership and support to our important Dodea community. I'd like to also thank Dr. Allen and Ms. Rapp from the Dodea leadership team for the continued guidance and leadership to our Dodea teammates as we face these challenges together over the last 2 years. I think it would be safe to say that this graduating class of 2021 has had to endure 2 of the hardest years of work and effort despite the COVID challenges. You survived. You made it through remote learning, in-school learning, online learning, book learning, Google Classrooms learning, and just about 10 to 15 other types of learning. You've learned to eat with masks, wear a mask constantly in class, practice social distancing, you washed your hands, you rode the bus, all with not a lot of complaining. You, the class of 2021, are the shining example of what it means to be resilient and resourceful. You can't count the number of canceled events, parties, some of which you weren't going to tell your parents about, dates, hanging out, and Japan experiences that you missed. And I know it's affected every single one of you. Trust me when I tell you that your parents gave those things up right alongside of you, except maybe that party that you weren't going to tell them about. I want to share with you some wisdom. That's a code for that's old people words for ideas that hopefully you'll long remember after today. These ideas aren't mine, but were passed on to me about how to be a great human being, a great teammate, and a great friend. One of my mentors is now a resident old guy, Lieutenant General retired Charles T. Cleveland. Making it all the way to 3-star general or vice admiral for our Navy friends is no small feat. It takes years of dedicated service and commitment to excellence to make it that far. General Cleveland used to share these words with the team each and every time we got together, whether for work or for fun. Are you ready for it? It's really simple. Be proud of who you are, be proud of what you do, and be proud of who you do it with. I'm certain there are more than a few chuckles out there and stunned looks in the crowd. Did he really just say, be proud of who you do it with? Yep, that's what I said. So I think I have your attention now, don't I? So let me explain what these words mean to me. Be proud of who you are. You are the sum of your experiences. You've experienced good and bad, joy and sorrow, peace and calm, pain and suffering. Not everything that you've been through is great, but there are great moments that have occurred in your lives. Graduation is one of those great moments. It's the moment that you realize that after 18 years of hard work and effort, you've earned the right to be called adults. Well, okay, let's say that for the last 13 years, because your parents pretty much did everything for you until you were 5. Beyond that, never be ashamed of who you are and where you come from. It's what makes you unique and what makes our country an amazing place. For me, I'm the proud son of a Vietnamese mother who left her home country torn apart by war to marry a Polish-American man who gave his life supporting 4 children, working in a foundry, building tractors for 30 years. I'm proud to be an amazing wife. I'm proud to be a husband to an amazing wife for 26 years and a father of 5 tremendous sons, 3 of whom you have most met over the last 2 years. After nearly 27 years of military service, I can honestly tell you that I'm still proud of who I am, even after all my successes and failures. We all come from different races, colors, creeds, religions, and beliefs and backgrounds. And even though our country is struggling right now, we have somehow forgotten what it means to celebrate each other. We can disagree, we can argue, but we've always found a way to come together to find a compromise. I'm asking you to listen to another person with an open heart and an open mind. Always be willing to find that common middle ground. We need more people who are willing to do just that. You're about to enter that brave new adult world. Be part of the solution, not a further contributor to the world's problems. Beyond being proud of who you are is just the first step. Now you need to be proud of what you do. Some of you will go to college. Many of you will be joining our nation's military. It's a proud calling that not a lot of people do anymore. Some of you are going to take some time off and then explore the many trades. The trades are a critical part of what makes our lives possible. As you grow into your adulthood, never be ashamed of what you do. Every one of you has the opportunity to be a meaningful contributor to our society and to our country. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor or a lawyer, a soldier or a sailor, an electrician or a musician. You all have something that's important to contribute to help make our world a better place by what you do. In the crowd today is a future command sergeant major, or a future general or admiral, a teacher, college professor, technician, beautician, actor or actress, or even a senator or the future president of the United States of America. Use the opportunities that you have before you and never let them be wasted, because once they're gone, you can never get them back. And if you do miss an opportunity once or twice, don't beat yourself down too much and spend time stuck in a world of regrets, because you'll be looking down and forget to look up and see that next opportunity that's out there for you. Now comes the part that you've got to remember. You heard me say it a few minutes ago, and now you hear me say it again. Be proud of who you do it with. There's some explaining I've got to do here, but it's pretty simple. Life is a team sport. You need to be proud of the people you surround yourself with. Always, always surround yourself with good people, and make sure in the process that you just don't surround yourself with people who agree with you. That can lead to some dangerous groupthink, and you'll miss some great ideas and adventures if you don't include people who don't necessarily think and act like you do. As a garrison commander, I'm proud every day of the amazing team of thousands I get to work with. I try and share that with our team every chance that I get. Being proud of who you are is taking joy from being around others, spending time with others, and putting our own individual needs second to those around us. You've learned some of that as we have all sacrificed together in this pandemic. Now you need to apply it to the lives that you've got ahead of you. As I close out things tonight, I want to offer you some quick fire thoughts on wrapping up what I shared with you. I hope that it's memorable. Number one, pray daily. I'm not telling you who or what to pray to, but the idea is to just slow down and take a minute and pause and reflect each day. Number two, love people. Love the people who are around you. Even love the people who are hard to love. It changes things positively. Number three, realize your potential. Each and every one of you has the potential to succeed. Believe in yourself because others believe in you. A friend's nephew shared this amazing thought about not realizing our potential. Your lack of consistency and ambition is an insult to those who believe in you. Believe in yourself. And finally, forgive yourself and do it often. We all fall short sometimes. Don't dwell on it, get back up, and keep going. Once again, class of 2021, congratulations to you all. You've done it. We are proud of you, and we're proud of what you'll do, and we're proud of who you'll do it with. Minasan, omedetou gozaimasu. Congratulations. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you. Ichida.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to the members of the class of 2021, the awarding of the diplomas. Alexander Eric Allah. Christina Elizabeth Avetia. Alyssa Socorrico Bourget. Maximilian Gunnar Brantley. Gabriel Morris Brown. William Joseph Brown. Grace Terrico Bryant. Heather Hikaru Bueller. Angelo Ugali Kaburian. Precious Lozada Katapang. Christian Harold Cosio. Bryce Chiha Davidson. Ika Ellen Davis. Kenya William Douglas. Meridian Sierra Cecilia Duarte. Shelby Lynn Eads. Clara Enriquez. Samantha Fujita. Harley Jade Gartner. Jaden Kai Gumeris. Rumi Hayama. Caden Hernando. Gabriel Christian Jackson. Elijah Sukia Kathy. Hannah Lee King. Cassandra Kuroda. Jason Badwa Loisel. Christopher Tadao Lopez. Michael Dominic Manangan. Kyler Howard McElroy. Heidi Zaya Mendenhall. Valerie Marie Malloy. Jessica Hina Mueller. Dana Elizabeth Navarro. Michael Yoshio Nonaka. Nicholas Sego Nonaka. Caleb Isaiah Pemberton. Rachel Asokura Perry. Josh Michael Petty. Joseph Reed Rands. Ryan Joseph Reyes. Midori Marie Robinson. Alexander Tsuchi Romero. Kylie Amaya Rose. Kai Thompson Sakata. Makaya Diana Sanders Vaughn. Rihanna Charlene Santana. Claudia Grace Sharp. Jamari Lee Angeles Silong. Gabriel Figueroa Smith. Princess Misa Smith. Michael Vincent Stager. Jason Tyga Stevens. Liam Makani Thompson. Matthew John Tiemann. Julie Katel Stefania Valenka. Angel Isaac Villalobos Villalobos.
Seniors, please stand. On behalf of the Department of Defense Education Activity, its director, Mr. Thomas Brady, the Department of Defense Pacific and its director, Ms. Lois Rapp, along with Japan District and its superintendent, Dr. Judith Allen, I have reviewed and certified your official school transcripts and now have the honor and privilege to announce that you, as members of the class of 2021, are now graduates of Zama Middle High School. Graduates, Please advance your tassels. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Zama Middle High School, I wish each of you the happiness of a productive life, the respect of your fellow human beings, and the love of your family. Life is a series of starting over. It is now time for you to make a fresh start. I encourage you to make the most of your opportunities. May the future be yours. Congratulations, graduates. Please turn and face your family and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the graduating class of 2021. Thank you, seniors. You may be seated. As part of our COVID mitigation strategies, we must dismiss in waves. Alumni and family, when you are dismissed, please depart the field expeditiously. We may not dismiss other groups until the first waves have left the immediate area. For those families that have signed up to take part in the lay presentation held in partnership with the Camp Zama Teen Center, the activity will take place immediately following our dismissal. Distinguished guests and visitors, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for making us make memories that will last a lifetime. Distinguished guests, you are free to depart. Our first two rows, please stand. You may greet your families. Receiving party, you may also leave here on the stage, sir. Dr. Knight, Petita, thank you. Again, friends and family member, we cannot dismiss until we depart. So please